Well, hello, HGTV fans. I'm Austin, and welcome to my shop. I just wanted to show you guys a few of my favorite tools. The first thing I wanted to show you is this little guy. This is what we call a Japanese handsaw, and it actually has a lot of different uses. For joinery, it is great for cutting wood dowels, but it's really good for getting into tiny little spots that any other saw is pretty difficult for. There's actually two different sides of the saw, one for hardwood, the other for softwood, and it works great for both. And you can actually probably cook your eggs with it in the morning, but I wouldn't recommend that. So let me give you a little example. So I don't have any dowels on hand, but we're just going to use a toothpick. So joinery is when you're joining two different pieces of wood together. It's used in furniture. It's used in pretty much every aspect of woodworking. Usually you would have a dowel, which is a piece of wood that you use to help stabilize another piece of wood that you're joining it. Sometimes it's really hard to get in there and cut using a saw, or if you're using a saw, you don't want to damage a really nice piece of hardwood that you paid a lot of money for, so you want to get in there with something that's not going to damage it. Having a nice flexible tool like this, where you can make a nice flush cut without damaging the wood, is super useful. So I've used this for all different kinds of scenarios where no other tool worked, and it's like it's a technique that Japanese carpenters and woodworkers and craftsmen have been using for thousands of years. So this is one of my favorite tools in the shop for sure. Another tool that I would like to show you is called the MultiTool. If you don't know what this is, you need to go pick one up. It's called a MultiTool for a reason because, it can do almost anything. It cuts through wood, metal, you can sand with it. So like, let's say you're trying to cut through wood with nails in it, and you're using a typical saw and you're just like blowing through blades. A MultiTool is great. So I'm going to show you guys what one of the uses of a MultiTool. You can cut through metal easily. You can use it for notching, you can use it for joinery, you can get into tight spaces, and the fact that it has this nice flat blade, it makes it such a useful tool for so many applications. Anytime you're trying to get into a piece of wood and you don't want to damage those pieces, this flat blade comes in super handy. Plus, it's got a ton of attachments. You can even sand with this bad boy. It's got a ton of attachments. It's good for so many things. MultiTool. Another thing, this is called a straight line or taper jig. Now what this does is this helps you take pieces of wood that you get from the lumber yard, which usually have one rough edge, and you have to do all kinds of math and wizardry to get that edge straight. When you have a jig like this, it just helps you cut down the rough edge just like that. And you can even make one yourself. A lot of people are really handy, but you know that it's going to be dialed, your cuts are going to be straight, and it saves me a lot of time cutting down rough lumber that I get from the yard. And basically how it works, when you come from a lumber yard and you get rough lumber, usually it's already milled down, but one side is straight and the other side's rough, which means that it varies in size. You mount it up on the jig, run it through the saw, and then it's straight, ready to be used. It's also great for doing tapers, which you might want for, let's say, a table leg, or again, you have to do lots of math. And
is there any way you can do it without math?
There is a way. There's a way you can do anything without math. I don't know. What do you use math when you're?
No, I use feelings.
you use feelings when
yeah,
you're...
you see me hang up pictures.
That's true. I have seen.
I feel it's right.
I've definitely seen Risa hang up photos and things around the house without using any math or any measuring device, and You could tell. You could tell.
Yeah, you better not mess up that manicure.
This job.
Yes. I spent a lot of time on that.
That's why you're more concerned with me losing the manicure than the finger itself. What if I lose a finger but the manicure's still intact?
I don't know.
No, I would rather not do either. Oh yeah, that's straight. Straight line jig. This saves you a ton of time. Okay, so well, if you got yourself a problem with crooked wood, get yourself a jig. So this has just been a few of my favorite shop tips. I got a shop full of stuff. There'll be plenty more tips, but thank you for hanging out. I'm Austin.
And I'm Risa.
And I'm so done. This is so sweaty in here.
Yeah.
I want to just
leave.
I'm gonna bounce.
He never lets me in here.
Thanks for hanging out, and I've had a pleasure hanging out with you.
Just thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Austin.
Thanks for
And
hanging
then
out.
that's it, Austin.
Make their wood straight. I don't know. You know, it's been really nice hanging out with everyone. This has been such a treat. I'm so sweaty. I just want to end this whole thing. Risa?
Austin, all you have to say is thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Austin.
I know, you're too far away though.
No, I'm gonna run in after.
Okay.
Austin, when she's
Anyhow, I'm so hot and sweaty. I'm so ready to be done with this. So I've been Austin, and
I am Austin.
I am.
I've been Austin.
I've been.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
You know, always wear your safety glasses. Be safe, and this has been a few of my favorite tools. Come on, man.
Sorry. It's the dust.